Hey, Uncle. Hey, foodie. Yeah, but Uncle was waiting. Uncle was probably sitting there refreshing the page, waiting for me. So are you. Did you like the newest memes I sent you? The memes that I sent you earlier today? I mean, they're not really new. They've been sitting on my phone for months, but... Like yeah, that one's good. I would have thought you'd like the Apocalypse. The Apocalypse. It's just a bunch of alpacas sitting in the middle of the road. Yeah, I sent Chantel a meme earlier as famous poems rewritten as limericks. There once was a girl named Lenore, and a bird, and a bust, and a door, and a guy with depression, and a whole lot of questions. And the bird always says, nevermore. Why, you little... Hey, Angela. I will say, Simpsons fucking ruined the Raven for me. I literally, like... They did such a memorable job with their version of the Raven that is just like... Anytime that poem gets brought up, that's immediately what I think of. It was so stupidly fucking good. It was infuriatingly good. I'm so used to getting the cream soda The Simpsons Halloween specials. I mean, they still do them. It's just... much like the rest of the show, I think they got shit for a long time. I've heard the show did the series did sort of improve. But there was a solid decade where it was just... trash. Because they turned Homer from a well-meaning buffoon to just kind of a dick. Jerk-ass Homer, the fans dubbed him. So, yep. I'm so used to getting the cream soda that I kind of forgot Pop Shop's orange soda. Also really good. He's always mean to Flanders. But he was generally a decent guy. You know, he was generally like... aside from Flanders, he was usually pretty decent to other people. He was never mean-spirited to anyone other than Flanders. And Bart. But he still loved Bart. Flanders is annoying him. I would be mean to... He's very preachy. He can be pretty preachy. No, I think they did end the strangle gag. I think they did eventually end it, more or less. Like it might be something that still every once in a while gets referenced, but I think for the most part they ended that gag. Just... I'm just too happy tonight. That's true. I'll give it a few more minutes, see if a few more people come in. We gotta wait to see if Shelly gets here. Buck and Shelly are usually the two who are in chat for my Symphonic Rain, for my visual novels. So, give Shelly 5 more minutes, 4 more minutes. Though she wasn't here last week. I was gonna say I didn't see her much this past week, but I was only on like 2 days. You know, Sunday and Tuesday. Suppose I was here for like 30 minutes on Wednesday. But this coming week I have shifts Tuesday and Friday, both until 11. So those 2 days I won't be here. But Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday I will be here. If I leave abruptly, I apologize now. Madison's in the hospital. Ooh. Ooh, is that anything serious? I made a wellness check done on you, so I'm really glad. I mean, I think there were a few occasions where Chantel had a wellness check done on her. Was there one done on me? I honestly don't remember a wellness check done on me. Oh, well, maybe. I might actually remember. I think I do very vaguely remember that. It was a stream where... Wasn't it on a stream where I'd been shit-talking the cops, too? Shit-talking police? I feel like that happened on a night where I was, where during my stream, I had, spent some time shit-talking the, police. No, I think you might have been... You were down about things? Yeah, I think you might have been, overseas. What was that? Shit, was it when... Oh shit, was it your vacation to Jamaica or whatever it was? Or was it when you were in Middle East? I don't remember. I don't remember if it was your vacation or, like, if you're visiting your beau. Probably. Oh, that's actually possible. That's actually also possible that it might have been, frequent. Okay, so it actually, yeah, it might have been, yeah, it might have actually been while you were at the, at the Dick Watts house. During that whole drama. Anyway, let's get into it. So for anyone who does need an update, in this game, we are attending a school, we're attending a music academy in a city where it always rains. We play a fictional instrument called the Fortel. Everything's very Italian. But like, Japanese interpretation of Italy. Forney here is a music fairy that only we can see. We're in our third and final year at the Music Academy, and we need to do a kill face! Need to hear you narrate some bullshit. That's what I'm here for. We need so before we can graduate, start over. What game are we playing? This is Symphonic Rain. So yeah. We're a dude named Chris, attending in our third and final year, at a music academy, where we play an instrument called the Fortel. And in order to graduate, we need to perform an ensemble. Basically do a musical performance with vocal accompaniment. Long hair. And we've befriended a first-year vocal student named Lisa, who seems to be getting bullied for some reason. We're not sure why. And we want to try to help her. And this girl in front of us is Forney. She is a music fairy. And we're the only one who can see her. How far along are you on Symphony? Pretty far, I think. I'd say better than even odds that I complete this route today. I'll probably be able to finish this route today. I wanted a little time to myself to think. Perhaps Forney had noticed how I felt, as she asked me nothing and simply sat in her usual spot. Her sensitivity toward me right now made me very happy. If the need arose, I planned to tell her about everything, but it wouldn't have been worth saying anything until I had organized my own thoughts. Lise's defensive attitude, and the words that Fal couldn't say. And there was Lise and Ari, and my feelings towards the two of them. Do you already have another game picked out? Yes, so once I do finish Symphonic Rain, there's 4 routes? Yeah, 4 routes for Symphonic Rain. So I'll do the 4 routes for that. After that will be Killer App or something like that. Killer Chat. So the next game is going to be Killer Chat. It's a dating sim! Hey, Buttercup. But Chantal's in chat this time, Buttercup. I think we'll probably finish this route today. Better than even odds of finishing this route today. But after that, we got 3 more routes after this. So probably a good chance of like another month and a half of this game. Maybe even 2 months. Yeah. I doubted that I would be able to find answers anytime soon. Oh, also, we have a girlfriend named Ari who's back in our hometown. And, we seem worried that, with how close we're getting to Lisa. Sorry, Forney. I think I'm just going to go get some sleep. Not waiting for a response, I lay down and let myself drift off. Sooner or later, I would have to make things clear. And in order to do that, I would need to see Lisa again. Even if it meant that finding an answer would hurt someone. And was your princess included as your queen? Thinking about Lisa. And thinking about Ari. That's all I did today. I'd have an ensemble with Forney at night anyway, so I didn't even think of touching the Fortel. Instead, I stayed in bed with my books and stuff. That honestly sounds like a great way of spending a day. Just sitting in bed with some books. Beautiful way to spend a day. This was how I usually spent my days off, so I didn't feel any dissatisfaction. But while I was okay with that, Forney seemed dissatisfied with something ever since yesterday.
もうお昼だよ。フォルテールの練習でもしたら?
Hello, it's already noon. What about Fortel practice? Ever since I'd had that honest talk with her yesterday, she'd been like this the whole time. The sound of your voice calmed the pain. I'll do that at night.
アンサンブルじゃなくて、卒業演奏のこととか、いろいろあるでしょ?
I'm not talking about ensembles. You must have something to practice for the graduation recital and whatnot. Thanks, Buttercup. I can already hear the response before he says it. Your narration calms the vibes always. It's what I'm here for. Hey, are you upset about something?
そういうんじゃないけど.
No, I'm not. But?
クリスがパートナーも決めないで他の女の子のことばっかり考えてるから。
Hey, strawberries. You're a little early, Killface, but you haven't found a partner yet, but all you think about is this other girl. I told you, it's not like that.
思いっきりそういうのでしょ?
But it totally is like that, right? Don't you kind of wonder feeling better? Nice. I can't just leave her alone.
それは...
That may be so, but... And I just might ask her to be my partner.
なってくれそうなの?
Would she say yes? Who knows?
だからそれがダメだって言ってるんじゃない。
Which documentary? And that's why I said it wouldn't work, didn't I? How do I feel about Stefan? I don't know who Stefan is. Lisa is... she's a lot like Arietta. Anyway, if I can't find someone, Ms. Cordell said she'll figure something out for me. Escaping paradise? Don't want to know. Probably correct. Probably right. Hey, Softweed. Should watch it. I feel like I'm probably comfortable not watching it.
結局人任せなんだ。
So in the end, you're just relying on someone else. Only when I have no other choice. Wanted to feed me? Wanted to be a creep? Probably. There were some problems which couldn't be solved by yourself. Arietta. She probably discovered what she really liked to do because Torta and I had been around. If she had been alone at that time. That was a pointless question, of course, and not one that could be answered meaningfully. The fact was that Lisa didn't have anyone she could call a friend. At least, I didn't think Fal was a friend of hers. And I wasn't one yet, of course. But I wanted to be. Lisa was always running off to the old wing and singing by herself. Right now, all I could do is perform ensembles with her. I wanted to keep going to the old wing until I became someone she could open up to and ask for help. Love the interior design of this room. W to the graphic designer. It is a nice room. Only allowed to eat one very specific meal for dinner, and we must have a blueberry muffin for breakfast. I picked up a new package. I did groceries today, so I've got a new package of blueberry muffins.
まあいいけどね。夜には練習も兼ねてアンサンブルするんだからね。それで許してあげる。
Well, whatever. You'll get to practice during the ensembles tonight. I'll let you off the hook. Beat you to death with Swedish berries. Great, thanks. Forney sounded as if she really meant it, and then she laughed. Crack you up with your my Arfid? My Arfid? Costco's great muffins. Chicken tendies and wedges on Saturday. I don't get the chicken tendies. I got wings tonight, actually. Tonight was wings. Usually it's either fried chicken or wings. And potato wedges. Finicky food stuff? I do, it's just... Arfid? The girl talking about eating the sheet cake for the ex-boyfriend made me sad. Relieved, I was about to get back into bed when... there was a knock on the door. Who could this be? Even if I asked Forney, I wasn't going to get an answer, so I rushed to the door. Okay, I'm opening the door. Eating Jollibee.
Yo, 今暇か?
Yo, are you free now? Well, you can see for yourself.
少し出ないか。話したいことがあってね。
Want to go out for a bit? There's something I want to talk about. Talk? Sure, but where?
飯でも食べながらにしようかと思ってる。昼食は?
I was thinking of eating while we talked. How about lunch? I haven't had any, so this could work out. Which place?
この前行ったトラットリアでどうだ?
How about that trattoria we went to last time? I was just there yesterday, but... Well, it had a large menu, so I didn't mind. Got it. Just let me grab my coat, I won't be long.
すぐなら構わないな。
Make it snappy. I'll be right out. I left Asano at the door as I went inside to get my coat.
ねえ、アシノ？アシノ？
Ashino? Is it Ashino? Yes, it is.
すぐ出るの？ちょっと見てくる。
Are you heading out right now? I'll go take a look. Forney dived down from the desk. I was a little worried as I watched her, but she somehow made it safely to the front door. I only had to put on my coat and tell Forney I was going out, so I was back with Ashino in no time. Sorry about that.
ああ、
No problem.
へえ、これがアシノか。
Yeah, so this is Ashino. Forney looked up at him as she said that. I couldn't respond, so I just nodded. Okay, see you later.
いってらっしゃい。
Have a nice day! Will I cosplay as Forney? No. Even if it is a cute outfit. Ashino looked at me as if I was crazy for talking to an empty room and responded in a small voice. It's a habit. Don't worry about it. Anyway, what did you want to talk about?
ま、向こうに着いてからでもいいだろ。
It can wait. Let's get there first. Sure, I don't mind. Despite my answer, I did mind a little. Ashino had come by my room several times before. But he had never been inside before, so Forney had never seen his face until today. I didn't think Ashino would come by without some significant reason, and his face did look a bit serious. The trattoria was a mere 5 minutes walk away. We arrived at our destination shortly. We placed our orders, then I drank a mouthful of water before asking Ashino again. Well, is it about your partner? Right now, that was the only topic I could think of that Ashino and I would be talking about. Ashino probably didn't want to recall the lecture that Grave gave. Since that day, we hadn't said a word about it to each other.
それもある。
There's that too. That's a little cryptic.
まあな。実は、リセルシアのことなんだ。
Whatever. Actually, it's about Lycelsia. Lycelsia? Are you talking about Lise?
ああ、この前掲示板の前で会ったあの1年生の子のことだ。
Yeah, that first-year student we met in front of the bulletin board. So her name is Lycelsia, that's pretty. But why are you mentioning her?
ちょっと気になってね。調べてみたんだ。
I got a little concerned, so I asked around. Concerned? Why?
グラーベの講義のことを言ってただろ。それが気になったんだよ。
She mentioned Grave's lecture, right? That got me thinking. Is that so?
とにかく、あの子はやめといた方がいいんじゃないか。
Anyway, you should probably give up on her, don't you think? What do you mean? I'm not...
最近、誰とも練習してなかっただろう。かといって、お前にそんなに知り合いがいるとも思えない。消去法だ。
You haven't practiced with anyone lately, right? Besides, it's not like you know that many people. Simple process of elimination. Okay, but how did you know about my practice?
トルティニタがぼやいてたぞ。
Tortinita complained about it to me. I see. I didn't realize you two were that close.
よせよ。俺の好みじゃない。
Stop it. It's not like I asked for it. Torta said that as well.
知ってる。で、組むつもりなんだろ？
I know. So, do you intend to pair up with her? Yes, for now. But you think I shouldn't?
良くない噂があるんだよ。
There are some nasty rumors, that's why. What?
親父からしてあれだもんな。
I mean, considering who her father is. Wait a minute. Wait a minute is what I was going to say. Torta? Her name is Tortanita, and Torta is her nickname. Hey, True Fam.
Nanda?
Huh? What do you mean? Why is Lisei's father coming up?
なあ、その話をしようと思ってたんだよ。グラーベだよ。グラーベ・チェザリーニ。
Ah, I was going to tell you that. It's Grave. Grave Cesarini. 13 watching on game night? And last night foodies here? Yeah, I guess so. Game is true. Also, obvious twist was obvious! I don't know if Buttercup's still here or not, but, I don't know if Uncle Buck is still here. Yeah, there you are. Yep, we all knew it. The three of us who are here regularly, you, me, and Shelly, the three of us knew it. Just then, the waiter brought us our food. I sat back down and drank a mouthful of water to calm myself. Ashina moved his plate to one side. I guess he wasn't going to start until he finished talking. I wasn't much in the mood for having a peaceful meal either. Ashina was waiting for the right time to resume our conversation. It was completely irrelevant to my situation now, right? Or maybe it wasn't.
あの男の娘らしく、裏じゃ相当ひどいことをやっているらしいって噂だ。
Hey, Breezeth. Coconut shrimp and a ginger salad. Nice, nice. I appreciate that, Buttercup. Don't understand this game. That's because you've missed everything. That's because you've missed literally the entire game up to this point, True Fam. So... Just as you would expect from Grave's daughter, she apparently does terrible things behind the scenes. I wanted Lisei herself to tell me about her identity and about those rumors. But perhaps it might be better not to know? Maybe this misunderstanding could have been resolved right away. Love for me is real yet. With that thought, I couldn't stop Ashina from talking.
定員の埋まった大会に、親の権威を借りて無理やりねじ込んだり、プロの歌手と組んで正規の大会に出させたりとかな。
Abusing her father's position to squeeze into competitions that are already full, for example, or pairing with a professional singer in an official competition. It feels more likely that, it strikes me that Lisei probably isn't intentionally abusing her father's position. It's that her father's position is being abused on her behalf. Seems more likely to me.
それを裏で自慢するような、とにかく偉そうで鼻持ちならないやつなんだそうだ。
They say she's secretly proud of doing things like that. unless she's arrogant and insufferable. That's enough.
もう一つ、お前に言わなきゃいけないことがある。
There's one more thing I have to say to you. I'll pass. Besides, I don't believe in such rumors.
いや、聞いておいた方がいい。
No, you should hear this one. Shut up, Asano.
お前が黙れ。そして話は最後まで聞け。プロの歌手と組んでってところに何の疑問も持たなかったか？
No, you shut up and listen. Pairing up with a professional singer. Doesn't that strike you as odd? With another singer? It's normal to have such duos, right?
学生がプロの歌手と組んだって普通は引き立て役にもならないだろう。かえってその拙さを浮き彫りにするだけだ。
Pairing up with a professional singer doesn't really do much good for a voice student. In fact, it only makes a lack of experience more obvious. Okay, but no. Because, like, you get to learn from that professional singer. Crazy just to hear the defense and prosecution at the same time. Like, it's... Like, young singers team up with more experienced singers all the time because it's a great way to learn. It's one of the best ways of... Shelly! Good news, Shelly. We confirmed that Lise is, in fact, Cesarini. She's Grave's daughter. She's, so she's a noble. We learned that she is, in fact, part of the Cesarini family. I'm trying to be ambiguous, but how can you be when you went on TV saying it's okay to sleep with children in the same bed? And Shelly, yeah, we have missed you. So we were right about Shelly, or we were right about Lise's secret. Anyway, this bit, where he's like, oh, pairing with a professional singer doesn't do much good for a voice singer. It's like, no, it does. It absolutely does. It is a phenomenal learning experience. And, like, it also... Like... Oh, the student isn't as good as the professional. Shock. But hey, the student is actually still really good. Arguably actually helps to... You know, like, the professional being, like, the professional singer puts people, like... Gets people already thinking positively, so then the... You know, the student singer, the rookie singer... they're actually more favorably inclined. The audience is more favorably inclined to the student singer because they're already enjoying themselves. And you know, hey, if this kid's good enough to sing with a professional, gotta be pretty good, right? No, like, it's actually, like, it is great. Pairing with a professional singer would do so much good for a voice student, for a vocal student. So?
でも、フォルテールとの組み合わせなら十分にその効果が発揮できる。
But when paired with a fortel, a professional singer can really help a student shine. But you said just now...
リセルシア・チェザリーニ、フォルテール科の1年生。グラーベの娘だってさっき言ったろう。あの男が自分の娘をフォルテール奏者以外にすると思うか？
Licencia Cesarini, first year fortel student. I told you she was Grave's daughter, didn't I? Did you think you would let her be anything other than a Fortello player? DTI meds from a pharmacist? Nice. Lise is a Fortello student?
それは確認済みだ。どうせ彼女の口からは聞いてないんだろ。お前もからかわれてるのかもしれないな。
Yes, I confirmed it. I'll bet you won't hear that from her. Who knows, she might be making fun of you. No, that's not true.
言い切れるのか？
Can you be absolutely sure? I just said so, didn't you hear me? With that, Asuna's expression relaxed, and he gave his usual sardonic smile.
お前ならそう言うと思ったよ。
I thought you'd say that.
今までのが人に聞いた話だ。これからは俺の意見を言わせてもらおうか。
Oh, that was what I've heard. Now let me tell you what I think. Go ahead.
噂は噂だ。俺は一度しか会ったことがないし、それで評価はできない。
Rumors are rumors. I've only met her once, so I can't judge. What were your impressions? I don't think she came across that way.
まあな。でも、都合が悪くなったらすぐに泣いて同情を引こうとする。っていう噂もあるにはある。怒るなよ。
Well, I've also heard that when things don't work out for her, she'll cry and fish for sympathy. Don't get mad, okay? I mean, okay, that part, maybe. I'm not mad.
とにかく、お前の方がリセルシアとは親しいんだし、お前がそう判断するなら、それでもいい。俺は何にも言わないよ。ただ、覚えておくだけは覚えておけ。
Anyway, you're closer to Lycelsia, so you can be the better judge. I won't say anything else, but just bear in mind what I've told you. I appreciate it, in a way.
ああ、でもパートナーはどうするんだ？
Sure. So, what are you going to do about your partner? I was thinking of asking Lise.
本気か？声楽家でもないんだぞ。
Really? She's not the vocal course, you realize. In principle, we can partner up with anyone, right?
原則はな。歌は上手いのか？
Yes, in principle. Is she good at singing? Eat some Lebna, it cures everything. Yeah, after a few ensembles, I think she's got a good voice. Furthermore, as a Fortel student, she must have had almost no formal vocal training. That meant she had acquired her technique through self-study. It was safe to assume that she had natural talent.
ま、お前がリセルシアと組むのに俺に異論があるわけじゃないからな。好きにすればいい。
Well, I have no objections to you pairing up with Lycelsia. Just do as you please. Anyway, the problem is whether she'll agree to it. All jokes aside, that was the most pressing issue at hand. The rumors were all lies, probably.
相変わらず変なやつ。
You really are an oddball, you know. Even so, those rumors just now, it's not as if she was responsible for them, right? You talked about her abusing her father's position, but I don't think Lise would ask for such things. On the other hand, that Grave would, wouldn't he? Getting a professional singer, for instance. Mimicking Asano, I emphasized the that in that Grave.
まあ、そういうのを隠してる可能性もあるだろう。
Well, it's possible that she's covering it all up. If she were covering it up, then why would she be insufferable?
親友にだけは話したんじゃないか？
Perhaps she only told a close friend about it? And where is this close friend?
それがきっかけで絶好とかな。
Maybe that destroyed the friendship. It was a possibility, but I didn't believe it. Someone abusing her father's position wouldn't be hiding in the old wing to sing, surely. Such a position could definitely be used more effectively. That was how I could be absolutely sure, just as Asino had said. And if I was really being deceived, then I just had to admit defeat. Oh. Good night, Chantel. Talk to you later. It wasn't what Val had said yesterday, but if you trusted someone too much, then you only had yourself to blame. Though I didn't think for 1 second that it was possible.
まあいい。お前が好きに判断すればいいさ。冷めないうちに食べよう。
Anyway, you can judge for yourself. Let's eat before our food gets cold. Yeah. I had almost forgotten about our meal. I moved my plate back in front of me and ate my cooled main dish in a hurry.
ま、話はそれだけだ。
Well, that's all I had to say. Thanks. I guess you came to encourage me, right? Well, says now that Chantel's gone, everybody else will leave too. There goes half my viewer count for this video. For this stream.
違うよ。お前が騙されてるのを笑いに来ただけだ。
Fat chance. I came to laugh at you for being duped. No one's duping me. I am unfortunately still here yet.
だといいけどな。
I certainly hope not. You know about Lise, don't you?
俺にはわからないよ。話もほとんどしたことないからな。
I don't. I've barely spoken to her.
とにかく、リセルシアのこと、頑張れよ。
Anyway, about Lycelsia, keep trying. Yeah. With that, Ashina went home. If he really believed that I was being deceived, he wouldn't have said that. Of course, if I'd said that, Asuna would have countered by saying that he meant for me to keep trying not to get deceived. But regardless of what he said, Asuna was looking out for me as a friend. Torto would probably disagree, but his finding out all that information about Lise today was probably for my sake. His dislike for Grave was probably genuine, though. Grave does seem like a dick, so... I returned to my room and got into bed once more. I had a lot of things to think about. First, the fact that Lise was in the Fortell course. As I told Asuna, I wasn't that concerned about this point. There was no problem with her abilities. But there seemed to be a problem with Lise within Lise. Even though she is a Fortell student, she liked singing. It seems she was trying to hide that fact by singing alone in the old wing. And considering Grave's personality, he probably wouldn't allow it. But anyone who heard her sing was bound to change their mind. That was the only thing I knew for certain. But I couldn't even give her the chance to do that. Seeing how everyone avoided her at the Senecolo, I doubted anyone would be willing to listen to her sing. That was precisely why the graduation recital was such a good opportunity.
何真剣な顔しちゃってるのよ。
You look really serious, you know. That's because I am. Forney hadn't been around when I got back, but now she suddenly appeared. She stared down at me from the desk. Still in bed, I sat up to listen to her.
ただいまくらい言ってよね。それで、アシノは何だって？
You should have said something when you came in at least. So, what did Asino have to say? He was very encouraging about Lise. It was an overstatement, but not entirely wrong. That was just Asino's way of speaking.
詳しく聞かせてよ。それだけじゃないんでしょ？
Give me the details. That wasn't all he said, was it? Well, I didn't know if my expression had given her the idea, but Forney had sensed something. There was an odd certainty in her voice. And so I told Forney everything. Forney wouldn't mind, I could tell her anything. In fact, I should probably let her hear Lise sing, at least once. I wouldn't be able to convey Forney's opinion to Lise, but I wanted to know what she thought. That's what he said. And that's why I'm thinking of asking Lise to be my partner.
クリスがそれでいいと思うんなら、それでいいんじゃない？
If you think that's a good idea, Chris, then that's good enough. This is different from the grudging approval of this morning. Forney actually sounded serious. Thanks. I have no idea how things will turn out yet, though.
でも、トルタにはきちんと言っておくんだよ。
But you're going to tell Torta about it, right? Why is Torta's name coming up now?
きっと心配してるからね。
Because I'm sure she's worried about you. I guess that's true. That was all I said as I lay down once more. I couldn't prioritize thinking about Ari or Torta right now. Of course, I couldn't abandon Arietta altogether. I was going to write back to Ari when her letter came today. My feelings for her wouldn't change. But I didn't want to be the kind of heartless person who would abandon a friend in need, even if our only interaction so far had been ensembles. My feelings for Lise were entirely different from those I had for Ari. So for now, and just for now, I silently asked Ari's forgiveness. I mean, why not tell her about...
クリス、そちらは今も雨が降っていますか？
Dear Chris, I wonder, is it raining there as you read this letter?
こちらは相変わらずのいい天気です。
The weather here is lovely, as usual.
そろそろ卒業演奏のパートナーを決めてないといけない頃だっけ？
Is it about time for you to choose your partner for your graduation recital?
この前の手紙ではトルタじゃないかもしれないって書いてあったけど、候補はいるの？
In your last letter, you mentioned that it might not be Torta, but do you have anyone else?
クリスはあんまり友達を作るのが得意じゃないから、それが少し心配かな。
I guess I'm a little worried, because I know you're not so good at making new friends.
入学してすぐの時にも同じことを書いた気がするけど、アーシノさんとか素敵な友達ができたんだったよね。
I think I wrote the exact same thing when you first enrolled. You ended up making great friends like Asuna, didn't you?
だから友達のことはそれほど心配はしてないんだけど。
So, I suppose I'm not so worried about whether or not you can make friends.
心配なのは別のことなの。
It's something else that I'm worried about.
私のいる場所はクリスのいる場所からは遠すぎて、トルタから教えてもらったことしか知ることができないでしょ。 Is there anything as satisfying as grunting and groaning when you get out of a chair? Feels great, doesn't it? It's a unique type of satisfaction. Now, where I am now, and where you are now, so far apart,
So I can only know the things that Torta tells me, right?
だから、少し不安になっちゃった。
That's why I've started to feel a little concerned.
候補で、女の子がいるって聞いちゃったから。
I've heard that one of your possible partners is a girl. It's mandatory these days, yep. At a certain
しかも可愛
age.
くて、いい子なんだってね。
And that she's pretty and a lovely person.
確率で言ったら半分だから、別に女の子でも責める気はないよ。
I know that in terms of percentages it's 50-50, so I'm not trying to blame you because it's a girl.
でもね、やっぱり少しだけ不安なの。
But you know, I just can't help but be concerned.
だから愚痴みたいになっちゃったけど、ここにそんなこと書いても許してくれるよね。
I know it sounds like I'm complaining, but you'll forgive me, won't you?
それと、残念なお知らせが一つ。
There's one more thing. I have unfortunate news.
今年はやっぱり、そっちには行けそうにないかな。
I'm not sure I'll be able to visit you this year.
私もここに勤めてから、クリスの学生生活と同じ、約3年が過ぎました。
Just like it has been 3 years since you started your student life, it's also been 3 years since I started working here.
努力もしてるし、好きなことでもあったから、最近では最初から最後の工程までを任されたり、新人さんの教育まで任されてます。
I've put a lot of time and effort into my work, and I also happen to like doing it, so I'm happy to report that I've recently been given more responsibilities, including the training of new staff.
年末は特に忙しいから、抜けられそうになくなっちゃった。
I'm going to be particularly busy at the end of the year, so it doesn't seem like I'll be able to get away.
会えないのはすごく残念。
It's such a shame I won't be able to see you.
でも、クリスも卒業演奏の練習で忙しいみたいだし、今回は我慢するね。
But I'm sure you're going to be busy with your graduation recital practice, so I'll just be patient.
よく考えてみれば、そんな我慢、その日が来るのを待ち遠しく思います。
But thinking about that now, I won't have to be patient for much longer, will I? I really can't wait for that day to come.
それじゃあまた、次の手紙で。
Take care. I'll write again soon.
追記。
P.S.
パートナーが誰になるにしても、トルタには一番最初に教えてあげてね。
Regardless of who you choose as your partner, just make sure to tell Torta first, okay?
あの子はいつだって、クリスのことを心配してるから。
She's always worried about you and how you're doing, you know?
そばにいられない私の代わりに、クリスのことを任せてるんだからね。
I asked her to look out for you, since I can't be there to do it myself.
アリエッタ。
Love, Arietta. I needed slightly more time than usual to rouse myself from the feeling Ari's letter had left me with. I was definitely leaning towards Lise as my choice of partner. But I was still uncertain if I should mention that to Ari. There was the possibility of rejection, and more importantly, once the topic of Lise was brought up, a lot of other things would have to be mentioned too.
クリス？
Hmm?
アルは、なんだって？
What did Ari say? Just the same as usual. I traced the surface of the carefully folded letter, and whispered the words once more. The same as usual. For some reason, I was unable to start writing my response immediately, and I just sat at my desk. Chantal's cat climbed her screen, apparently. Like her, window screen. She sent me a picture of her cat just like top of the, like just clinging to the screen near the top of the window. Very misbehaving. Supposing that I followed the excuse I had been telling my heart, and I chose not to partner up with Torda. Would that result not end up being a betrayal of both Ari and Torda? A vague sense of unease gripped me.
クリス、
Forney was standing on top of my music stand, beckoning to me with her hand.
歌おう。
Let's play something. Yeah, okay. Have I read them on 2 devices and there's 6 viewers? Yeah. When I was surrounded by music, I was free from all manner of restraint. I felt the pleasant sound of her voice on my skin, and I let myself be taken over by the sensation of the waves gently rocking me to my core. I wasn't sure how many songs we played in succession, but we clearly played more songs than we usually ever did because it was already time for bed. Before I could revel in the satisfaction of our session, I rushed to the window and looked outside. It was dark, and I realized that it had become quite late. I hurriedly prepared to write my reply to Ari.
あら、結構遅くなっちゃったね。
Oh my, it's gotten pretty late, hasn't it? It sure has. I better finish this letter fast.
明日の朝に間に合わなくなっちゃうね。
Otherwise, you won't have it ready by tomorrow morning, huh? Forney moved her face closer to get a look at what I was writing, which was unusual for her. Didn't I tell you a long time ago not to look?
いいじゃない。気になるんだから。
Oh, come on, I want to see. I'm not going to write anything particularly special.
パートナーのことは聞かれたんでしょ？
What about your prospective partner? She asked you, right? Well...
リセのこと書くの？
Are you going to write about Lisa? I won't tell her the details yet. I'll just say that I'm practicing with a female first-year student.
そっか。
I see. Forney spoke in a whisper, then vanished into thin air. I placed the finished letter in my bag and returned to my bed. I'd lost track of how many times I'd been in bed like this today, but I must have been tired because I fell asleep almost instantly. Lundi, 19 December. And so, I went to the old wing once again. No promises had been made, but that was the only thing I could do now. And I wanted to, from the bottom of my heart. I quickly set up the fortel and began playing that song of Lisa's. That calmed me, and in that moment I felt I knew exactly what I should do. I should give Lisa the opportunity to sing that song. It didn't have to be at the graduation recital, as long as she had a chance to be heard. Anyone who heard her song would greet it with applause. And if no one applauded, I would. It wasn't possible with just a two-person ensemble. What I'm saying now would only come across to Lise as words of pity, no doubt. Somehow, I had to make time for her to sing it in a situation where that wasn't the case. The graduation recital would be best, of course. Oops. As I thought this over, time passed in the blink of an eye. I was supposed to be concentrating on the foretell, but I could only recall, with surprising accuracy, how many times the bell rang. In about 5 or 10 minutes, Lise would be able to come here. That is, if she were coming here at all. Okay, one more time. Speaking those words out loud, I started playing the foretell again. Oh, hey, Shelley. Feeling someone's eyes on me, I turned around. Lise.
どうしてここに来たんですか?
Why did you come here? I said I would, didn't I?
来ないでくださいって言いました。
I asked you not to come. I don't remember answering. Lise. There and then, I had no intention of sounding preachy. Nor did I want to pursue the truth of what I'd learned.
はい。
Yes? Let's perform an ensemble. That's why I tried to sound upbeat, just like Forney would. Oh. Here we go.
はい。
Okay. As soon as I started playing the foretell, Lise began to sing, as if her body was remembering how to. Similarly, my fingers moved of their own accord. Lise's expression grew brighter as she sang. As I watched her, the music continued. It seemed Lise was also able to lose herself in her singing. I knew that feeling well. When I wanted to forget, when I didn't want to think about anything at all, I'd lose myself in playing the foretell. But at that moment, watching Lise, I found warmth in the music we made. Lise's song was comforting, and clearly had something that put me at ease. I continued playing with just one thought, that this warmth would be conveyed. Even though there'd be no applause at the end, I hoped she would feel it too. We performed in ensembles over and over again. The usual end time for practice had long passed. But we kept on going, without exchanging even a single word. Lise closed her eyes, savoring the final echoes of the foretell. I kept perfectly still, for fear of ruining the silence. I stayed that way until she opened her eyes.
Chris senpai.
What? Well... Don't say sorry.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you. You're welcome.
私、先輩に言わなくちゃいけないことがあるんです。
Well, there's something I have to say to you. What is it? Even though it was probably too soon for her to tell me anything of that nature, I spoke with great care.
本当に今日はありがとうございます。
Thank you. Thank you very much. Lise thanked me once again. But there was something else she wanted to say.
本当に、嬉しいんです。でも、私、無理なんです。
I'm very happy. But it's impossible. Impossible?
先輩が、もしかしたら、私をパートナーに誘おうとしてるんじゃないかって、思うんですけど。
it seemed like maybe you were going to ask me to be your partner. Well, that's what I thought.
あ、いえ、勝手な思い込みですから、違ったら、ごめんなさい。
That's just a wild guess, so I'm sorry if I got the wrong idea. No, you didn't. I do want to ask you to be my partner. In fact, I'll do it right away, formally.
違うんです。ですから、私は、無理なんです。
No, that's why you see, it's impossible. Lisa was on the verge of tears as she said impossible over and over again. I don't think she was ready to tell me why. So I needed to say something more. It's not impossible. As a rule, a partner doesn't have to be from the school. She could be someone from the city, for example.
違うんです。
That's not... She could even be a Fortel student. I'm sorry. I heard it from someone. I didn't mean to find out.
でも、なら...
Then, why? Even so, I still want to ask you. Lisa, will you be my partner?
私は... だって...
But... You like to sing, right? Then what's the matter? Lisa finally broke into tears, casting her eyes down. But this was clearly different from before. That was all I could tell. Lisa. I wasn't able to hold her, nor did I have the words to comfort her. All I could do was play the Fortel. Alright, just one last time. With those gentle words, I started playing the Fortel. The sobbing gradually stopped, and Lisa looked at me with glistening eyes. I closed my eyes and pretended not to notice. In the dark, the sound of the Fortel filled the music room. After a while, it was joined by the sound of singing. Opening my eyes, I looked at Lisa. With tears in her eyes, she seemed to take joy in her song. I closed my eyes once again and played the Fortel. This way, Lisa wouldn't be startled if she looked at me after her song. Thanks to her voice, there was a warmth to the darkness beyond my eyelids. And hey, a couple days have passed. Or 1 day? 1 or 2 days passed. I didn't go to the old wing to wait for Lisa today, passing the time in the cafeteria instead. Yesterday, without much ado, Lisa and I performed an ensemble. I hadn't received a clear answer from her, so we barely said anything to each other. We simply performed together in silence. But maybe that was good enough. All the things we wanted to say were in the music. There are many times when feelings are conveyed without words. Of course, words are needed in many other cases, but if that time came, I believed the words would come from Lisa. I already had that level of trust in her. And I was sure that I wasn't the only one who felt it. Lisa probably had the same thoughts about me. I stood up, not knowing how many times the bell had rung. I was outside the old wing, alone. No, I was not alone. Miss Cordell?
ああ、クリスか。こんなところでどうした？
Oh, it's Chris. What are you doing here? That's a good question. I'd like to ask that myself.
なんだ、練習でもしに来たのか？
Well, did you come here to practice? Yeah, I guess.
最近練習室で見ないと聞いていたが、 こんなところで練習しているとはな。
I heard that you haven't been seen in the practice rooms recently, but who knew that you'd be practicing here? And what about you, Miss Cordell?
その様子だと、掲示板は見ていないようだな。
From the look of it, I guess you haven't looked at the bulletin board. Well...
この旧校舎は、今日から使用禁止になった。
The old wing is off limits, starting today. Huh?
老朽化が激しいとの報告を受けて、昨日調査が入った。その結果だ。
There were reports of advanced deterioration, and the building was assessed yesterday. This was the result. But the building is perfectly fine.
私もそう思うが、上からの決定だ。場所を変えてもらうしかないな。練習室でも使えばいいだろう。
Good possibility that Grave learned what was going on, but at least I was practicing in the old wing and had it shut down for that. I agree, but that's what the higher-ups decided. You'll have to go somewhere else. The practice rooms should be fine, yes? Is Lisa a ghost? No, she's not a ghost, no. No, she's a noble. She's the daughter of a noble who is a foretell master, and who thus does not want her singing. The why she can't do both is beyond me. That's not the issue.
それに、もう中には入れない。鍵がかかっているからな。
Anyway, you can't go inside anymore. It's locked. What?
懐かしいものだが、年代が年代だ。素人目にはわからないだろうが、危ないんだろう。
You have fond memories of the building, no doubt. But all things age. And it's probably not safe inside, no matter what our eyes tell us.
一応見回りの担当になったが、本当に生徒が来るとは思わなかった。とにかく、ここは使えない。別の場所で練習をするように。
I'm in charge of patrolling the building, but I didn't expect any students to be here. In any case, you can't practice here. Find somewhere else. Understood.
ん？行かないのか？
Aren't you leaving? Actually, I'm waiting for someone.
ほう。ここで一緒に練習していた誰かかな？
Oh? Someone you practiced with here, perhaps? That would be the case.
なら、そこを抜けた裏口から中に入るといい。
Then you should use the back door down that path. Miss Cordell pointed at a small path that went around the building. What do you mean?
忘れ物をした生徒のために裏口だけはまだ開けてある。それにしても今日は忘れ物をした生徒が多いようだな。さっきも1年の女生徒が中に入っていったところだ。
Only the back door is still unlocked, in case students have left anything inside. But I must say there have been many forgotten items today. In fact, a first-year female student just went inside. You mean...
クリスも忘れ物だな。
Chris, you've forgotten something too, haven't you? Yes.
なら、急ぐように。
Well then, hurry along. Ms. Cordell smiled as if to say that she knew everything. On the other side of the building, where Ms. Cordell said it would be, there was a back door, and it was unlocked. I went inside and headed to the music room. Lisa.
クリス先輩、来てくれたんですね。
Chris, you came. Well, I left something behind here.
忘れ物？
Left something? Never mind. Just some phony line that popped into my head.
I see.
Anyway, we can't stay here for long. Though I think we'll be fine while Miss Cordella's on patrol duty.
ごめんなさい。こんなことになってしまって。
I'm sorry that things ended up like this.
It's not your fault, Lisa, so don't worry about it.
やっぱり、私たちは、練習とか、
I guess I mean, our practice.
Would be nice if we could continue somewhere.
いえ、そうではなくて、
It's not that.
だから、私たちは、こんなことを続けていて、いいんでしょうか？
Is it okay for us to continue doing this?
Why wouldn't it be? At least I think it's okay. But your opinion is important too, Lisa.
いえ、私もそう思っています。でも、
No. I mean, I think it's okay too, but...
Lisa? We can't use this place anymore, but the ensembles will continue, yes? Lisa didn't reply for a while. She kept opening her mouth and then frowning as if recalling something, whereupon she'd swallow the words stuck in her throat. For my part, because I had already told her how I felt, I could only wait for her to speak.
本当に私でいいんですか？
Am I really the one you want?
She finally said it, and I answered right away, relieved. Of course. I want to perform with you, Lisa.
先輩。
Chris,
But the problem is where.
はい。
yes.
The practice room's at school.
あまり好きじゃないから。
I don't like them much.
Doing chores and gone, sorry. Alright. Good night, Killface. But then I couldn't think of anywhere else. We needed a place where foretell playing or singing would be okay. The school grounds were out of the question, I guess. Which means my room was the only option left. I thought of Lise's 2 house for a moment, but that'd be impossible for a variety of reasons. What about my room? This is probably too sudden, inviting you to my room, but I don't mean it that way.
いえ、ごめんなさい。私は先輩の部屋でも構いませんよ。
Nothing. I don't mind going to your room.
Oh, I'll bet you don't. I'll bet you don't mind. Really? That's great.
はい。
Yes.
Well, when's a good time? Today's the last week this week that you can come here, right?
はい。木曜日と金曜日は用事がありますから。
That's right. On Thursday and Friday, I have things to attend to.
Well, how about Saturday?
そうですね。
Sure.
For a moment I thought of Natal too, but stopped myself. In the back of my head was the fact that Arietta couldn't come for Natal, but perhaps Saturday would be enough. Lisa and I weren't formally partners yet, and she had the right to spend Natal with someone else. But if Lisa said she could meet on Natal, how should I respond? Lisa would never say such a thing given her personality. But what if she said she wanted to meet? I wouldn't be able to say no, I guess. No, honestly, I wouldn't say no. Or rather, I wouldn't want to say no. I could make an excuse, in order to ask her to be my graduation recital partner. All for Lisa's sake. And I realized that I felt I had to make an excuse.
どうかしましたか？
Is something the matter?
No, it's nothing. Just some random thoughts.
そうですか。
I see.
Anyway, let's forget about practicing here today. Miss Cordell's waiting outside.
はい。
Okay.
遅かったな。忘れ物は見つかったのか？
You certainly took your time. Did you find it? Ms. Cordell was waiting at the gate and spoke as soon as she saw us. Yes, I did. As you can see. I took a half step to the side so that she could see Lise behind me.
ずいぶん可愛い忘れ物だな。まあいい。これからはここは使用できない。裏門も明日には鍵を閉めることになっている。
That's quite a cute item you left behind. Well, this building will be off limits from now on. Even the back door will be locked. No problem.
リセルシア、君も分かっているな。
Licelsia, you understand as well, right? Yes?
はい。
Yes.
Miss Cordell called her by name to make sure she understood. Did Miss Cordell know about Lise? Now that I think about it, didn't Grave refer to me and Ashino as Cordell's students? There might have been some connection. Or maybe she just asked Lise her name when Lise went to retrieve her items. Anyway, I couldn't confirm anything in front of Lise. We'll be off then!
ああ、私はもう少し見回ってから他の講師と交代する。レッスンも後が控えているんだな。
Alright, I'll walk around for a while longer until another teacher takes over. I have lessons after this, too. Taking leave of Miss Cordell, Lisa and I returned to the campus. Okay. Are you heading home now? Or would you like to stop by my place? We can meet on Saturday, but I thought it'd be better for you to know where my room is.
それなら、もしよければですけど、先輩の部屋に。
In that case, if it's okay, let's go to your place.
Sure, I don't mind.
では、お願いします。
Okay.
And so we started walking toward the gate when someone called out from behind us.
クリス、それと、リセルシアさんだったかな。
Chris! And is that Licelsia?
Ah, Torta! I turned back and saw Torta standing there looking downcast. I wonder if today's practice was over.
二人揃ってこれから練習？
Are you two going to practice?
No, we're heading home.
いいの？卒業演奏までもう時間はないんだよ。
Really? It's almost time for the graduation recital, you know.
So it is. I hadn't even decided on the graduation recital yet. Although I told Lise that I wanted her to be my partner, I hadn't received a formal answer. We'd only performed ensembles, enjoying our time together. That's why I had to be vague in my answer to Torta.
そっか。なら、一つだけいいかな。
I see. There's just one more thing, is that okay?
What is it?
リセルシアさんと二人だけで話がしたいんだけど。時間は大丈夫？
I'd like to speak with Licelsia, just the two of us. Is now a good time?
声楽科の先輩として話したいこともあるのよ。
As her senior in the vocal course, there are things I'd like to say to her.
Speaking about that... Torta didn't know that Lise was a Fortel student. I didn't know how to explain that to her, but then Lise responded first.
私なら大丈夫です。
I'm okay with that.
She walked over to Torta. Lise,
私から話したいこともありますから。
I have things to say too.
Lise spoke curtly. She rarely spoke like that, but perhaps it was a good sign. Got it. But you'll get wet and maybe catch a cold out here, so let's go indoors.
そうね。リセルシアさん、それでいいよね。
Sure. Are you okay with that, Miss Elsia?
はい。
Yes.
The three of us headed to the second hall. I stood where I could see the whole campus and looked outside. Torda and Lise went further inside, and spoke so softly that I couldn't hear them. Oops. While doing my best not to look at them, this time I gazed out of the window. It was rare for Lise to initiate conversation with others. As for Torda, she didn't know about Lise, so her behavior was normal. Perhaps that was precisely why Lise felt like speaking up in that way. What would Torda think about Lise being a Fortel student? Would she get angry and say that it showed we weren't thinking seriously? But I didn't think that would happen. I felt Torda would probably give a resigned smile and encourage Lise to do her best. There'd be only one way for me to respond to that. Got it. Amid all this thinking, I felt that some time had passed. Looking at the two, I found that they were still talking. I didn't think they had that much to say, but the clock showed that it was already evening. What on earth could they be talking about? Perhaps it was about how only voice students could become partners. No, Torda would have said that to me first, and by the look on their faces, that wasn't it. They didn't seem angry or upset. They just seemed to be having a serious discussion. If I were feeling complacent, I'd say that there was nothing left for me to worry about, and that Torda was just giving advice as a voice student. I shook off those ridiculous thoughts and looked up at the sky again. This time I did not become lost in thought. I simply felt the passing of time. After 5 minutes or so of that, I suddenly heard a voice beside me.
お待たせ。遅くなってごめん。
Sorry for making you wait.
They'd finished their talk and were standing near me.
ごめんなさい。
Sorry.
大事な話だったから、そのくらい許してね。
It was important. Hope you understand.
Sure. Torda went outside, showing no inclination at all of mentioning her talk with Lise. I looked at Lise, who looked at Torda with a troubled expression and followed her without saying a word. I had no choice but to follow Torda as well.
じゃあ、私はまた練習室に戻るね。風邪はひかないように早く帰るのよ。
Well, I'm heading back to the practice rooms. Go home quick or you'll catch a cold.
Got it. Torda looked up at the sky, then cupped her hands as if to collect the rain. Huh? Do you find the rain that unusual?
全然、慣れてるからね。
Not at all. I'm used to it.
Without letting on what she wanted to do, Torda simply said that and turned around. Torda's next words were directed at Lise.
頑張ってね。
Keep it up.
はい。
Yes.
And then, without looking at me, Torda headed back to the second hall. Although that exchange didn't go quite as expected, there was no point standing there in confusion. I decided to talk to Lise as we walked. I looked for the words to say to Lise. I wanted to ask about what she said to Torda, but I didn't know how to put it. I was actually waiting for Lise to broach the subject, but she kept looking at the ground, lost in thought. And I wondered if I'd always made Ari or Torda feel that the same way. After telling Lise that we had reached my apartment, she finally opened up.
日はここまででいいですか？
That's all for today, yes?
Huh?
土曜日にここに来ますから。
I'll come here on Saturday.
Sure, but
ごめんなさい。少し考えたいことがありますので。
I'm sorry. I'd like to think about things for a while.
alright, no problem.
時間はいつくらいがよろしいですか？
What time should I be here?
Any time is fine. I'll be here the whole day.
わかりました。では、土曜日に。
Understood. Then I'll see you Saturday.
See you. That's weird. No, this one's much weirder. I got a text from my mom with a link to an application of an Amazon warehouse. That's weird. I don't think my mom would have sent that to me. Certainly not on purpose. Anyway. Lise didn't say anything about her and Torta, so I wasn't able to ask and had no choice but to see her off. Nah, I'm not gonna bother. But there was definitely something in Torta's attitude that showed approval of Lise. I returned to my room hoping that they had been talking about songs or something else that I wouldn't know about. I dried my hair with a towel and looked around the room. Lisa and I had made a promise that we'd perform ensembles in this room from now on. So far, I'd only done that in this room with Ari and Torta, who were really close to me. Both of them knew me well and I'd felt unconstrained, which is why I'd never thought much of this before. But my room lacked atmosphere, and I regretted my decision a little. Lise did have her dislike at the school's practice rooms, however.
何か探し物?
Looking for something?
Forney was probably wondering why I was looking around the room. No, just thinking about how bare this place is.
今さら何言ってるの?
You only just noticed? I'd lived in this room for 3 years, but I wasn't attached to it, and had never thought of decorating it. I realized that Forney had made up for that by brightening the room with her presence. You seem lively today.
それってどういう意味? もちろん褒めてるんだよね?
And what do you mean by that? Good things, I hope? I wonder. Forney glared at me, seemingly disaffected. I couldn't possibly tell her now, but I'd have to do so at some point. That soon I'd perform ensembles in this room with a girl who excelled at singing. I finished my morning lesson, and lunch as well. Even so, neither Ms. Cordell nor Torta had said anything about what happened yesterday. Just like that, the day was going by me. Torta had something to attend to, so she'd left early, and I was alone in the cafeteria wondering what to do next. There was some time left before the end of lunch, but the one thing on my mind was Grave's lecture, and whether I should attend it. If only I hadn't seen how relieved Lise had been when she heard I wasn't going to this lecture, I would have attended it just to see what kind of person Grave was. This is just conjecture on my part, but Lise probably didn't want me to find out that her father wasn't, to put it mildly, a very nice person. And for that reason, Lise was ignored by everyone. What to do, what to do. I remembered other days like this, of indecision in the cafeteria. I'd even wandered the school buildings in search of a partner. That was how I'd met Lise, whom I was thinking of choosing as my partner. And that's when I realized that I had nothing to worry about. I already knew about Lise. It didn't matter what sort of person Grave was. But in that case, I should probably know more about him. I stood up and looked at the clock. The lecture was starting in 5 minutes. If I hurried, I'd make it there with time to spare. Holding my breath, I entered the room to see another student waiting silently in his seat. Grave was also seated near the lectern, reading some scores. There were 3 minutes left, so I took a seat near the front and breathed in deeply to calm myself. Now then, today we shall see how well you perform. Without any warning, he cut straight to the chase. That was his style, it seemed.
2名はそれなりの距離を置き、フォルテールを用意しろ。
Both of you, prepare your fauteuils at a suitable distance from each other. With that terse order, he took his place at the lectern. I had no idea what he meant by a suitable distance, but in any case, I set up my fauteuil away from the other student. We placed our chairs such that we were the same distance from the nearest wall and each other, which meant we were about 4 meters apart. I was seated beyond the front row of desks, so I was quite close to Grave.
よろしい。では、これから諸君らには曲を弾いてもらうことになるが、二度と同じ曲を弾くことは許されない。それだけを覚えておくように。
Good. Now you will both play for me, but you may not play the same song twice. Do not forget that. He continued without giving us any time to respond.
フォルテールは鍵盤を押せば音が出るような他の楽器とは本質的に異なる。魔力を込めて弾かなければまともな音すら出ないだろう。
The fauteuil is fundamentally different from other instruments that produce sound merely by the touch of a key. Without magic, it wouldn't even make a single sound.
フォルテールは体で弾くのではない。心で弾くものだ。覚えておけ。反復練習を繰り返し、指が自然に動くようになるのは構わないが、今はその時ではない。
One does not play the fauteuil with one's body, but with one's heart. Remember that. Through rote practice, your fingers may learn to move on their own, but now is not the time.
故に諸君らには常に新しい曲を弾いてもらうことになる。問題があれば、その都度私が指導をする。弾ける曲がなくなった時点で、そのものの講義は終了する。
And that is why you will keep playing new songs for me. If a problem arises, I will provide instruction. If you run out of songs to play, then the lecture is over for you.
弾ける曲が少ないのは重々承知だ。記憶を有効に使い、少しでも有益な時間を過ごせるよう努力したまえ。
I am well aware that you do not have many songs to play. Make full use of your memory and do everything you can to benefit from this session.
何？諸君らにはそれほどの期待はしていない。幼稚な曲でも、幼い子供が初めに覚える曲でも構わない。 とにかく弾き続けることが重要だ。
My expectations are not high. Even a lullaby will do, or the very first song you learned. What matters most is that you keep playing.
もちろん、心を込めてだ。
With your heart, of course.
これは決して比喩的な意味ではない。曲に込められた意味を各部分に込められた作曲者の意思を読み取り、正確に表現する。以上だ。それでは始めろ。
I do not mean that metaphorically, not at all. Decipher the song's meaning, the composer's intent, and express it accurately. Enough talk. Let's begin.
Grave spoke without pausing, and when he was done, he placed his chair in front of the lectern and sat down.
どうした？もう講義は始まっている。条件を追加するか。10秒以上演奏が途切れた場合も弾く意思がないとみなし、その時点で終了とする。
What's the matter? The lecture has begun. Shall I add another condition? If you stop playing for more than 10 seconds, you shall be deemed lacking in purpose, and your time will be up.
The other student and I looked at each other in confusion. He told us at the start to sit apart, but at this distance, there was no way we could focus on our own sake. I decided to speak up. I have to say this, I don't like Grave. At this distance, we'd be distracted by each other's plan, so maybe we have some time to reposition ourselves.
そのまま続けろ。集中していればさほど気にはならなくなる。
Stay where you are. As long as you concentrate, it won't make any difference.
He sounded irritated, as if he never intended to entertain any opinions. He took up the score on the lectern and started reading it. Having no other choice, I started playing the fortelle. Perhaps what he'd said was right. His approach to the fortelle and to music was supported by the fact that he was a great musician. Nevertheless, there had to be a more pleasant way to do things. Despite my resistance, I started playing an etude, something really simple. Grave looked at me for just 1 second with something like a smirk before returning to his score. Beside me, the other student launched straight into one of the famous fortelle showpieces. Given the contrast in our choices, for one moment I considered changing songs. But once I started a song, I couldn't switch halfway, so I just had to keep playing.
演奏をやめろ。
Stop playing.
It wasn't a powerful voice, but it had the ability to make people obey. Both of us stopped and looked at him.
クリス・ベルティン、お前はやめなくていい。そのまま続けろ。
Chris Verton, there was no need for you to stop. Continue playing.
Well, you didn't specify which of us should stop playing, you fucker! You just said stop playing. You didn't say, student name, stop playing. You just said stop. So of course I fucking stopped, you dickweed! Would have been rude for me to continue playing at that point. Fucker! Like, honestly, he's like... He's acting as though it's my fault that I stopped playing. Dick. Apparently, his initial order hadn't been directed at me. As instructed, I played the etude once more from the beginning. While I played, I tried to hear what he was saying.
その曲をまず初めに弾こうとした心意気だけは認めてやろう。しかしだ。お前は作曲者をバカにしているのか？私は心を込めろと言ったはずだ。
Yeah, I mean, it was honestly, like, dude said, you can play a goddamn lullaby if you want. You can play the first song you ever learned if you want. Play, Mary Had a Little Lamb. He didn't even say song, says, yeah. play the simplest song you know if you want. You don't need to jump right into something complicated. Build up to that shit. Start simple, and then build over time. Get into the groove. Or at least, do a couple simple songs, and then sort of an intermediate song, and then, an advanced song. Just, warm up to the advanced song, and then, sure, go into the advanced song early so you can get that, some crucial advice from them or whatever, but yeah, you don't jump right into... If you're at a party and you're playing the guitar, you don't jump right into Freebird. You start with Wonderwall. Hey, Hack. You guys get what I'm saying, right? You gotta Wonderwall before you can Freebird. Does anyone here play piano in real life? I don't.
I'll give you credit for starting with that piece. But do you intend to make a fool of the composer? I told you to play with your heart.
小手先の技術を見たいのではない。
I have no interest in seeing your fingering technique.
You heard Freebird today? He had come to that judgment after listening to just a few short bars. Then he turned to look at me just once. He'd caught me looking, so I had no choice but to return my gaze to the front. Even though I still felt some resistance, I was starting to find this lecture slightly interesting. For my part, I just had to keep on playing. Somehow, that was the feeling I got. But come to think of it, could one really find intent in an etude? Where was the composer's intent? I tried thinking about where it might be, but it just didn't seem likely. The term etude suited a song that was written to show differences in touch, or the basic action of hitting keys. You sound almost just like that guy.
Deep and arrogant is not a difficult voice to do.
In short, all I had to do was stay true to those fundamentals, right? With that thought, I reconsidered the meaning of the composer's signs, and reproduced the intended actions. Instead of the overall flow of the music, I became conscious of the importance of each rest note, the dynamics and accuracy of each chord. As soon as one song ended, I summoned the next one to mind, with barely any pause for breath. Glancing sideways, I saw that Grave had returned to his seat and was ignoring me completely. Having no other choice, I selected the next song from memory and started playing. It was another etude. The other student beside me also started playing an etude. Grave didn't move at all. I recalled every symbol in the score perfectly as I continued playing. About 1 hour had passed since we began. I'd run out of simple songs, so I had to start playing fortell pieces that were written with a vocal part. 10 seconds was a short time, and I had to start playing whatever came to mind first. The first thing I thought of was the song I always practiced with Forney. I was so familiar with it, my fingers began moving right away. It was a song I'd composed while reading one of Ari's letters. It contained the feelings of making up for the distance between us by writing letters. Of course, there was no one to sing the vocal part, and so instead of lyrics, I poured that feeling into the fortell. It was something I did almost unconsciously. Even though I'd played it so many times before, I accidentally played a wrong note. My fingers were already tired, and once I became conscious of the fact, my movements grew clumsy, as if I were playing on board a ship. Things weren't looking good, and right on cue I heard Grave's voice.
演奏をやめろ。 クリス・ベルティン。
Stop playing, Chris Verton.
Yes. Grave came and stood in front of me, literally looking down at me.
間違えた歌詞はどうでもいい。
The wrong notes are none of my concern.
The story seems so mysterious. Kinda. Huh?
そんな練習はいつでもできる。そうではない。感情を込めて弾けというのがまだわからないのか。
They can always be fixed with practice. What you still don't seem to understand is my instruction to play with your heart.
He closed his eyes as if recalling the song I'd been playing, then opened his eyes again.
別れの曲か。恋人を思う曲だな。
A song about parting, or the thoughts of a lover.
Yes.
間違えたことにより雑念が入ったな。途中まではよくできていた。
Your mistakes caused you to lose focus. You played well up until that point.
It took me a few moments to realize that he meant that as a compliment. And what came after that realization was a sense of awe. He didn't seem to be paying attention, but in fact he knew everything.
自分で作った曲だな。それはもういい。これからは他人の曲を弾くように。
You wrote that yourself. Enough of that. From now on, you will play songs composed by others.
With that, he returned to his seat. I still felt no respect for him, but I had to recognize his considerable talent. Consciously, I decided to play all the songs I'd learned at school. Time went by in a relaxed manner after that. Over and over again, my performance was interrupted by Grave for some kind of instruction. If it was a famous piece, he provided details such as the life story of the composer and the circumstances of its writing. Grave is going to recognize Lisey's song when he plays it? Probably. By that time, my resistance had all but vanished, and I listened obediently. Some songs took more than 20 minutes to get through. And I had absolutely no more songs to play, so I started playing Lisey's song, almost unconsciously. Somehow, I sensed that it would have been wiser not to. But I couldn't stop halfway, so I just kept playing. I guess it really was a bad idea, or maybe Grave noticed that my heart wasn't in it, but he stopped me with a single phrase.
その曲はどこで覚えた？
Old man needs music to rebuild his vitality and youthful appearance as apostle of 455 years.
Where did you learn that song?
It was the former, or so that question suggested at least. I couldn't tell a lie, so I answered truthfully, even though I knew it was a bad idea. I heard it from a friend.
そうか。クリス・ベルティン。お前だったのか。
Is that so? Chris Verton. So you were the one.
What do you mean? Grave continued speaking with perfect composure.
余計なことをするな。この世界で生きていけなくなるぞ。意味はわかるな。
Don't get involved in matters that don't concern you. Your future depends on it. Do I make myself clear?
講義はここまでだ。速やかに片付けを済ませ、退出しろ。
The lecture ends here. Pack up at once and leave.
Without saying anything else, he returned to his seat. From that point on, he didn't look over once, and I was completely ignored. His attitude suggested he thought it impossible for his orders to be disobeyed. I had no choice but to pack up my fortel and leave the lecture room. I turned to look at the other student as I left, but his seat was empty. He must have been dismissed at some point. After I stepped outside, I finally noticed how much time had actually passed. The sky was already dark. This week's lecture had gone on longer than last week's. I felt both physically and mentally exhausted. Part of it was the fact that Grave had found out about me and Lisey, but more importantly, I had played the fortel continuously for a very long time. With all my heart. For that reason alone, my mind had become numb from fatigue, and I couldn't even think of Lisa. When I got home, I didn't even have the strength to dry myself with a towel, and simply collapsed into bed. The only thing I said to Forney was a request to be woken up tomorrow morning, and before I heard her reply, I was fast asleep. Which unfortunately marks a good time to end this episode. I was hoping... I should have known we wouldn't get to the end today.
早く起きないと遅刻しちゃうってば。
Alright. Hopefully next week. On a side note, we have one more choice to make in this game, in this route. This route has literally one more actual choice that we can make. Whee! So, hopefully next week we finish Lise's route? I hope. We'll see. Tomorrow is trivia. Don't forget, everybody, tomorrow is is trivia night. If I'm not mistaken. Yes. Second Sunday of the month. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow for, I figure, Pride-themed, trivia. I figure we'll do some gay trivia. Maybe other categories as well, but definitely some gay shit. So, thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.